With the World Championships fast approaching, I'm delighted to have with me Aussie ace Harleigh Rochester. Welcome, Harleigh. And let's start at the beginning of your career. How did you get involved in cycle speedway?
Yeah, so my dad took my sister, who's 10 years younger than me, Jemima, to Flinders Kids because he always wanted to be at Flinders Kids. So he thought, I'll live vicariously through my children. And a year later or so, I rocked up and I thought I'll go have a look. And Alan Staunton down there, he said, well, why don't you get on a bike? We've got a women's grade. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And so I turned to my dad and I said, well, I can see that they've got a veterans grade. Why aren't you riding as well? So that was 2015. It was the Father's Day in October here in Australia. And it's now nearly 10 years. So I've kept going. And now I'm at Lefevre
Ah,
Cycle Speedway Club for the last couple of years. And I'm absolutely loving it.
so it's a family affair by the sounds of things. In your cycle speedway career, then, what do you think is your greatest achievement?
Well, I would say the obvious answer would be me representing Australia for the women's team multiple times. But for me, I actually think it's running a social media called Harleigh Cycle Speedway, which has nearly 1,300 followers. It started as a bit of I'm going to give this a shot and try and get other people all around the world to know what Cycle Speedway is, mostly by posting videos of me crashing, but whatever gets the views, I guess.
So, Harleigh Cycle Speedway. So, make a note of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. In your career, what do you think is your most memorable moment, good or bad?
I think probably the most memorable would be tearing my ACL in 2023, 6 weeks before they were choosing who the Australian women's team were going to be. 6 weeks to the day, got back on my bike, and that was the day that they announced who the team was. And I managed to scrape my way in as the last pick, which gave me not too long, about 3 months to really work on my rehab and be able to ride a bike again properly. So now I've only just started to come back around from that and be making sure that it doesn't stop you. A big mental game with that as well. Being injured, even if it's just a little injury or a large injury, can really change how you ride and how you perceive your sport.
Gosh, my grandson has got the same injury and he's having an operation in a few weeks, actually. Hopefully, he'll recover quickly as well. Do you prefer team riding or individual riding?
I think I prefer team riding just because then it gives me something to work with. I love a team aspect. I love a good talk, so it gives me a good excuse to talk within my team. Recently, I've been really trying to get back on I guess, my feet or my pedals when it comes to my individual riding and really making sure that I focus on that as well.
In the UK, the women's racing is absolutely thriving. And what's it like in Australia at the moment, women's racing?
In the last, I'm going to say the last 2 years, especially in the last year, it has just blossomed, mostly because we've got a bunch of girls from the under 16s girls division now moving up to the women's grade and actually being part of it with us. And just seeing that the fact that we're actually still staying in with the sport, not just when they were kids and then they leave or they become teenagers and they get boyfriends. Nice to see that they're still there. And the biggest thing that I noticed I want to say a month or two ago, we had a major championship at Salisbury Cycle Speedway, which is one of our clubs here. And the under 16 girls racing was just something really interesting to watch. And watching one of the final races where everyone stepped forward towards the gates to watch them race, not just their family members, but just other people within the sport, made my heart just so happy to see that people were interested to actually watch a woman or female grade, where that I've never seen that before.
Moving on to the World Championships, will you be coming to the UK?
I'd like to announce, yes, I will be. This will be my first time traveling overseas, full stop. But this is definitely a very interesting time to be part of the team as well, being part of an international team now properly, not just within Australia and just going from work to the track and then home. So I'm very excited, and my partner Angus will also be coming with me as well, and he races in the Div ones.
Oh, fantastic. Have you raced in World Championships before?
Yes, I have in the 2017 tour and the 2023 tour.
Okay, and what was the experience like? Was it different to other types of racing?
2017, I don't really remember. I was only there, I only really raced for about a year and a half when they picked me for the team. So there was a big jump between how I raced from then to 2023, but then I injured myself. I'm hoping that this is going to be the first year that I can actually properly race with what I know I can do, without having to worry too much.
So you've said that you haven't been to the UK before. So tracks like Blakenham and Ipswich are really long flowing tracks, and Kesgrave and Heatherset are short, tight, narrow tracks. Have you got any preference for the type of track that you like to race at?
I don't really know enough to do it, but Lefevre can be quite a tight track compared to the, say, Murray Bridge, which is quite a long, wide track. So I'm going to probably say short, tight tracks, just going off of that.
And which of the events at the Worlds are you most looking forward to?
Oh, I don't have any preferred events. I'm just excited to be part of it in general. Show up and cheer on my team and cheer on the rest of my women's team and just the rest of the Australian team and just have fun with it.
Talking about the women's team, the Australian team are the Nations Cup holders. What do you think of the chances of retaining the title?
Well, that's a bit of a tricky one for me to comment on, but it's mostly because I genuinely don't know. What I can say though is that this year might feel a little like that of the British women's team that experienced in 2023, since all our travel costs and expenses are entirely self-funded. The team selection naturally comes up to whoever's can afford to come, not by performance. That's not really a criticism. It's just a reality of what we're working with within this sport. And I'm really hoping that with the new announcement of the UCI, I can't remember what it's called, with the cycling, it means that we can actually start looking closer into being a properly funded sport.
And finally, have you got a message for your Polish and British competitors?
I just can't wait to see everyone again. I loved having them come over and show them what Australia was like and seeing their face when certain things they thought, oh, we would never do this here. We would never do that at home. And I'm just excited to go over and see them in their own natural environments and actually see the girls race properly in racing that they can race in instead of not being able to travel and see us. I can actually see them.
Well, it just remains for me to thank you very much, Harleigh, for joining us, and all the best for the Worlds, and look forward to seeing you in September.
Thank you.